A woman in disheveled attire goes bankrupt. In the weeds. The experienced old criminal police officer looked at the body in front of him and fell into contemplation. Because of a rainstorm last night, washed away all the traces, wanted to use a police dog to search for clues. But the borrowed police dog got carsick again, not working properly at all. What makes the old criminal police even more distressed is, this is already the third recent homicide. All victims are female. The modus operandi involved hitting the head with a blunt object, resulting in a coma. Then, after sexual assault and abuse, cut off the carotid artery, just as the entire criminal police team had no clue. A security guard from the factory stepped out, said he could solve the case. Due to insufficient manpower, so temporarily shut down the security of nearby factories to maintain order. Ugwowe is one of the security guards. He has repeatedly cracked theft cases in the factory. People jokingly call it Detective Yu. Lao Yu entrusted his work to his apprentice. I secretly took photos of the scene, thinking about solving the case again and making contributions. The next day, he spontaneously organized workers who were not on duty on the day of the crime to come to the police station to take notes. Team Jung, take a look. There are more than a dozen people. At the same time, I nodded a little too much. After settling in the workers, Lao Yu had the cheek to ask Team Jung about hidden weapons. Team Jung told him the victim was knocked unconscious by someone, and then it was transported to the crime scene by bicycle. After knowing the process, Lao Yu immediately tied up his disciple, transported to the scene of the crime. As the police restore the criminal process, after completion, the disciple asked him why he still hasn't left. People like to go back to their favorite places. As expected, there is a suspicious person staring at them on the distant road. The two immediately chased after each other. I only found out when I was caught waiting for trial. This is someone who came to see the excitement out of curiosity. Not long after, the fourth homicide has occurred. Lao Yu quickly arrived at the scene, but the deputy captain warned him not to interfere with his official duties. But Lao Yu didn't give up. Next day, he found Team Zhang again. I learned from Zhang's team through hard and soft learning. All 4 victims have been lingering on this street, that street. It's likely the place where the killer picked their prey. After separating from Team Zhang, Lao Yu came up with a clever plan. He left a bunch of keys at the crime scene, take photos of the scene, made a search notice, and then paste it behind the factory entrance. Just take your apprentice and wait for a rabbit at the door, just squatting for 3 days like this. Finally, a suspicious man stopped and looked at the photo for a long time. Lao Yu just wanted to step forward, but I didn't expect that. The apprentice is not arranging for the other party. Seeing Lao Yu, he immediately ran away. Man in black backward. Strangle a man to the death. A man who cannot breathe. Fight fiercely with an electric baton. How could I be strangled by my neck? It's not working at all. As soon as I saw him, I was about to die. But the man fought fiercely with a determination not to die. Quickly broke free. The man in black is not doing well. Kick the man away and run away in a hurry. I don't want to drop a blood. When men chase after them, the man in black has disappeared and disappeared. Look ahead. Only one truck was parked on the road. The murderer who was about to be apprehended slipped from his own hands. Men's eyes are filled with regrets. On the way back, he even complained to his apprentice. But he didn't know that his apprentice was already on the verge of death. Wait until discovered before sending to the hospital. The apprentice has missed the best opportunity for rescue. Lao Yu indirectly killed his disciple. But this didn't make her let go of her obsession. Instead, it made him even more enchanted. He stays in the factory every day, search for suspicious people, but they got nothing. Old Yu, who was hit, went to find his friend Swallow. Swallow is a dusty woman. Lao Yu once saved him from the hands of hooligans, so the two became friends. Swallow, my biggest dream is to leave here and open a barbershop in Hong Kong. Lao Yu accidentally caught a glimpse of a photo of the Swallow when he was young. A plan suddenly came to mind. After Lao Yu buys a barber shop to give to swallows. This behavior gave the swallow hope. Deeply moved, he began to yearn for the future with Lao Yu. Strangely enough, when the swallow wants to further enhance their relationship with Lao Yu refused. And every night, Lao Yu is sitting in a restaurant opposite the barber shop, just staring at the barber shop day after day. Finally, a sneaky man arrived. After seeing his appearance clearly, obtained information from Song Jun at the factory security department. So this kid's family sells knives. By coincidence, the victim's body is covered in knife marks. This further confirms Lao Yu's conjecture. Night. Song Jun comes out of the barber shop. Lao Yu followed behind as usual, following Song Jun into a restaurant. After sitting down, I directly showcased my cards with him. Lao Yu threw out the murderer's shoes, and Song Jun happened to be able to put on a woman and come to a restaurant as a waiter. Scare the woman out in a cold sweat. Sitting in the position where her husband often sits. I can actually see my own barber shop through the window, and my husband actually monitors him every night. A woman with a puzzled face. To find out the truth, rummaging through my husband's bag, the woman's eyes slowly became dull. Her face turned a bit scared. My fingers couldn't help but tremble, because her photo prominently appeared in her husband's notes. It's clearly written inside, using his plan to lure the killer. Swallows who have lost all hope meet Olju at the overpass next day, after pouring out a lot of words. Swallows being crushed by a train. The soul was carried far away. His dream is just to leave here, can awaken from a dream. I realized he had nowhere to go. Old Yu, who witnessed everything, collapsed to madness. He brought Song Jun to the scene of the crime, vented all the pent-up emotions in his heart on him. A passerby from afar reported the incident to the police. Lao Yu was caught in a police car. Zhang Dui told Lao Yu that Song Jun was not the murderer. The police have found the killer's blood on a deceased person. Lao Yu was sentenced to 10 years in this way. 10 years later, Lao Yu is released from prison to visit Zhang's team. At this time, Zhang's team is already senile dementia. But before he got dementia, he left a letter for Lao Yu. I want Lao Yu to go find a client from the beginning. I learned from the person involved. He accidentally hit a person while driving back then. This person is the murderer who was pursued by Lao Yu at the time. After hitting someone, the driver didn't dare to get off the car when he saw Lao Yu running in the rearview mirror. After Lao Yu leaves, he just got off the car to check, and the killer wasn't actually dead at the time. He didn't care either. After the driver gets up, just keep moving forward. Afterwards, the police extracted his blood, confirmed that he was the culprit in the serial murder case. Got the truth. Lao Yu didn't say anything, so I bid farewell and leave. Lao Yu and the workers who were laid off together watched the report from the former factory, and take the bus that left with them. And these people from the old era, forever stopped in the dream of the past. I can't wake you up. This is the end of the